Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and today I'm joined by
Chantal.
Peter.
Indeed. And we've just finished playing The Villages of Valeria. Now, there's a Kingdoms of Valeria game, I think, which is set in the same universe, but this one apparently is mechanically quite different. I haven't played the other one. Essentially, it's a bit like Puerto Rico or San Juan. You each take it in turns to pick an action, and when you do this action, everyone else gets to do like a minor version of the same thing. So there's a little crib sheet here that tells you what they all do. So Harvest, for example, lets you draw cards. You're going to have a hand of cards here, and they're multi-use cards. So some of the actions let you build the cards for buildings. You have to pay the resource costs down the left here. And some of the cards let you acquire resources effectively. So you can turn it upside down, slide it under here, and then you can see I got access to all these different resources. So you have gold, and when it's your turn, if you're building, if I had this card, I wanted to build an archery range, this would cost me 1 wood. So I could spend a gold on, I don't actually have a wood, but you've always got this wild one at the bottom. So I could stick it there, and I could build my archery range. Each of these cards are going to give you points, although this one doesn't actually give me any points. Potentially they might give you an instant ability, so this one's going to let me draw 3 more cards. Or they might give you a special ability. So this one, for example, whenever we're taxing is one of the actions you can take, which lets you get more of the gold that you need to spend on these things. In this case, when I tax, I can also spend cards to get more gold. Note, though, that you don't actually lose the gold. When I spend it on here, it just sits here. And in fact, other people might be able to use my resources. They can spend their own gold on my resources. And then at the start of my turn, all the gold on my cards comes off, and then it's available again. So the gold kind of cycles round different people's hands, potentially. Although there is one action that will remove the gold from the game. So if you're recruiting, as well as these cards here, when you acquire cards, you're typically taking them from a selection here. You can pick blind if you don't like the ones in the middle. But when you're recruiting, you're paying gold back to the bank, and you get to take one of these characters who will give you some special ability potentially. So this one, whenever you're taking the develop action, you can spend cards to get gold again, or they're going to give you endgame victory point. So this one's going to give you 1 victory point per a certain kind of building. You can see there's like a hammer there. So if you've got buildings with a hammer, you're going to get victory points for those. So it's fairly straightforward. Once you've got 10 buildings or characters, that might depend on the number of players, but once you hit a certain number of those, that triggers the end of the game. Whoever has the most points is the winner. What do we think?
I love the iconography. It's very easy to pick up because of that, because the art is very pretty and all the actions are explained very clearly. So it's really, really good, even for like non-advanced gamers. So definitely something for the whole family.
Okay, Peter?
Well, it's an obvious tableau builder. I asked at the beginning before I knew how to play, whether it was a Kingmaker game. I kind of feel that that is true, despite being disagreed with, because in Jonathan's case, we all thought he was winning, so we all basically kept hampering him from winning, and he didn't win. And I won because I just kept quiet about what I was doing, and nobody realised that I actually had a very good end game scoring ability. So it is a good game because I do like tableau builders. I do think once you know it well, you can very easily nuance the game and influence how well other players are doing. But as a new player, I kind of didn't know how well everyone's doing, apart from the fact they had 9 cards or 8 cards. So it's very hard when I was giving out gold to buy things, who to hand the gold to, because I may have been putting them further ahead on the end game scoring, because the gold itself scores you 1 point each.
Okay. Gene?
I mean, I quite like it, but then I would, because it's my game and I bought it after having already played it. So there's lots of different ways of playing it. There's lots of different tactics you can use for it. If you spend too long setting up your engine, you'll find the game has ended before you've actually started to use it. The availability of the cards changes the game fairly dramatically. And I like the way that really in the early stages you probably do need to be using other people's resources to build, so the money circulates around quite quickly. Now, this game was really tight in money. I've played versions of this where we had nearly all the money out of the pool, so it does vary from play to play. Iconography is very, very easy, very, very easy for new players. I really like this game.
Rating out of 10?
I'd give it an 8.
Okay. Peter?
A 7.
I'll go for an 8 as well.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought Dean was spot on with his comments, really. Very family friendly. It's short enough, but interesting enough, I think, to engage lots of different types of players. I felt there was plenty of different options for me on my turn, different routes you can go down in terms of strategy. You can go heavy on the recruiting to get the people to get the endgame victory points, or you can go for certain kinds of building. Peter did very well by getting one guy who gave him points for a particular kind of building, and then he just got loads and loads of that type of building. He didn't look like he was doing very well in the game, but actually then in terms of the points, he scored really well at the end. So yeah, lots to like here. I feel like there's plenty of replayability. I'd happily play this over and over with all kinds of different people. I'd be on an 8 out of 10 as well. Alright, thanks for watching. That was The Villages of Valeria.